Good evening, and welcome to this UPSL National Quarterfinal playoff match between St. Croix SC and Balboa FC. I am your commentator, Mark Turner, here with the fine folks of Veda Media, excited to bring you this quarterfinal match at Stryker Sports Complex in Wichita, Kansas. As you can see from the on-screen graphic, this is how the two teams made their way to the quarterfinals. St. Croix doing so very judiciously, just single goal victories over Valora in the first round and Dodge City in the round of 16. Balboa, a little more bombastic, 2-0 win over Little Rock Rangers, and follow that up with a 3-0 win over Houston FC. Incredibly impressive for a team that finished its regular season in third spot in its conference. Definitely punching above their weight, and they'll hope to do so again today when they play the favored St. Croix again here in Wichita, Kansas at the beautiful Stryker Sports Complex. We'll give you the starting 11s momentarily. Players will come out, of course, line up for the national anthem. Then we will be off to the races. The winner of this match know that they will be facing in the semi-finals LA10, who bested Rose City just moments ago in the other quarterfinal this side of the bracket by a scoreline of 3-0. So I believe LA10 remain undefeated this season. They certainly have one of the most miserly defenses in all of UPSL. I believe they've only conceded 6 goals across 16 games, which is absolutely astonishing. So whichever team does advance from this quarterfinal match tonight, they are going to have their work cut out for them, finding a way through LA10's defense. But that's not something they have to worry about this evening. First things first. Let's see which of these two outfits can secure the W. As we wait for the two teams to take to the field, let me go ahead and just give you the complete rundown on the playoffs. So I already mentioned that LA10 have beaten Deportivo Rose City out of Portland, Oregon. On the other side of the bracket, well, it looks intense. Chicago Nation face New York Braveheart, and that will be an absolute hammer blow, I'm sure. Those two teams are going to go at it tooth and nail. Two very, very strong outfits. Also, Tennessee Tempo FC to play Miami United FC as well. So, yeah, certainly some fantastic quarterfinals ahead of us. Looking at this evening's affair, we can see the starting 11 for St. Croix SC on the screen. In goal, number 96, Beckett Carlson. Number 31, Rigo Arellano. Number 27, Ryan Christiansen. Number 35, Darren Chuckle. Number 33, Carmelo Cassim. Number 24, Anthony Mancio. Number 38, Liam Morera. Number 39, Jacob Knockin. Number 36, Ramsey Uro. Number 30, Asha Uzuzu, and number 37, Ryder Tomlinson, head coach Andrew Shirley. And for Balboa Football Club, in goal, number 1, Alex Setterberg. Number 66, Avery Estel. Number 4, Hazani Torres. Number 5, Evan Lupo. Number 20, Kaysen Berg. Number 18, Gabriel Ruiz. Number 10, Jason Rivera. Number 21, Nico Navas. Number 77, Cadenberg. Number 50, Gavin Rosales. And number 74, Evan Pustijovski. Head coach Juan Reyes. Balboa FC, of course, not to be confused with FC Balboa, who also ply their trade in UPSL, but in San Diego, California, not Fort Worth, Texas, where tonight's Balboa herald from. Well, the officials are on the field. It looks like the teams are going through last-minute team talks. At this point, it's probably not so much tactics. It's more rah-rah, getting the teams fired up, as if they need to be any more fired up for this quarterfinal match. But it'll be spurring the guys up, getting them ready to take to the field and start hot from the opening whistle. Very muggy evening in Wichita, Kansas. It's in the low 90s, 90, 91 degrees, somewhere right in there. For those of you who know the Wichita area will know it can get quite humid, quite sticky. So hopefully that won't affect the pace of play this evening. Those of you who aren't as familiar as to where Wichita is within Kansas, it's on kind of the southeast side of the state, heading toward Oklahoma. It has the distinction of having the largest school district in the state of Kansas. So there you go. You'd think that would be Kansas City or Topeka, wouldn't you? But nope, it is Wichita. And it is Wichita who hosts this game this evening. St. Croix on the left-hand side of your screen in the all-white. Obviously shooting from left to right. Balboa FC in the all-black strip. Obviously going from right to left. Referee just checking with the officials, with the goalkeepers, and we are underway. Balboa starting possession. Moving the ball out to the right-hand side. And then just slowing things down a little bit. Nice spell of possession, though, for the team from Fort Worth. Haven't yet relinquished the ball in the opening 25 seconds. Pass out here to the left-hand side to Estelle, number 66 in the left-back position. Whenever I see a fullback wearing number 66, it does make me wonder if they are a Liverpool fan, given that that is the number Alexander-Arnold wears. And of course now he is of Real Madrid, so apologies to any Liverpool fans that are listening. I didn't mean to rub salt in the wounds. Balboa is still in possession. Actually relinquish it now on the 50th second. So almost an entire minute of possession. Nice, measured, comfortable start from the team from Texas. Now it is St. Croix of Minnesota who momentarily have possession from the throw-in. Balboa battling to win it back, but St. Croix coming away with it. Looking to break now through the middle, ball out to the right-hand side. Excellent speed, but not much in the way of backup. Early ball into the box. Headed away by a defender, and it needed to be. Had that found the one man in the box, that could have been the opening goal. A nice shot comes in there and blocked out again by the Balboa defence. So despite starting the match with almost a minute's worth of possession, it's Balboa FC who find themselves on their heels a little bit as St. Croix launch a pacey counter-attack. Excellent vision and speed from St. Croix. The counter-attack was so quick they weren't able to get bodies up in support. Balboa able to clear. St. Croix now with the throw-in. Long ball deep into the box and over the crossbar. Not going to trouble Setterberg in the Balboa goal. Balboa walking the ball out of the back. Living a little dangerously, but maintaining possession. And again, spreading that pass out to the right-hand side. Using the whole width of the field really well. Balboa again, continuing progress up the right-hand side, but may run out of field. And indeed they do. As I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, we know that the winners of this evening's match will play LA10 in the semi-finals. LA10 dispatching of Deportivo Rose City in Portland, Oregon by a score of 3-0. That match concluding about 10-15 minutes ago. LA10 looking mightily impressive this season. One of the highest scoring teams in the league, and I think they've only conceded 6 goals across 16 matches, which is absolutely astonishing. It's Balboa now on the attack. Nice little ball tucked into the middle. That might be an offside. Carlson wasn't to know that. Did some great goalkeeping. Spread himself, dropped quickly, got a foot to the ball. Balboa looked a little tentative as they sprung a ball there through the back line of St. Croix. Not quite sure it was offside. So it wasn't the most forceful of finishes. And I think that hesitancy allowed Carlson to come out, spread his body and make the save, despite the fact it was offside. Good work from Beckett Carlson. You do want your goalkeeper to be on his toes, regardless of whether an offside flag goes up or not. And he was on that occasion. Balboa with the throw-in. Going to roll his man. Referee decides nothing in that. And St. Croix clear. Now it's St. Croix in the attack. Good work from Balboa though. Some excellent defending. Going to roll the ball back. Maintaining possession. This may be how Balboa have created upsets in the playoffs so far this season. Holding on to the ball and being very purposeful with it. Rivera conducting the orchestra in the middle of the Balboa arc. And again, St. Croix snapping at their heels but not able to win the ball back. They will now, though, have the throw-in. So obviously, St. Croix only have to worry about Balboa and vice versa this evening. Both teams anxious to secure a spot in the semi-finals against LA10. But they will have quite the puzzle to crack, getting through that LA10 defence, as miserly as it is. Those games will be played on August the 10th. The semi-final matches, with the final ultimately being played in LA on Sunday the 10th of August. In fact, the third place match will be played earlier that day, and then the final will follow it. So LA10 are going to be anxious, I imagine, to go all the way there. Can you consider that? LA10 playing in LA in the UPSL final? Goodness gracious, they would have quite the home crowd. But for right now, they are just a name in the hat. They have to make their way through the semi-final to earn that right. To host a final in LA, and then have to go through one of these two teams to do that. Which of the two? Well, with any luck, we'll know here in about 83 minutes. Although, of course, there is always the possibility of extra time and indeed penalty kicks if the game concludes all square. Long ball out to the right-hand side for St. Croix to chase down. Do a nice job of doing so. I'm not sure how he kept that in, and then wins it back again off his defender. Fantastic work down the right-hand side. It's very easy to discern the numbers on the Balboa shirts, white on black, obviously, very straightforward. A little more challenging with the St. Croix jerseys, so I do apologise if I'm occasionally a little bit behind the 8 ball on identifying those players. I'd certainly like to be able to give props to St. Croix's right winger, because he has been at the heart of the 2 best attacks that they've managed to craft so far. His pace, technical ability, giving the Balboa defence something to think about. Balboa, though, back in possession, looking to scoop a ball over the defence. Well defended by St. Croix, who are now looking to clear their lines and do so. And now St. Croix again on the counter-attack, breaking down the right-hand side once more. Not able, though, to make the connection. Balboa intercepting. Ball tucked inside, asking a lot of Rivera. He loses the ball ultimately, comes back to St. Croix. Again, last-ditch defending from Balboa. St. Croix with a shot from distance, easily blocked from Balboa. Chipped out to the right-hand side, but Caden Berg not able to get on the end of that. And now a free kick for St. Croix. Well, a very even-handed and measured start from Balboa. They are probing, trying to find spaces in that St. Croix defence, trying to find weaknesses that they can exploit while they maintain possession. St. Croix, a little more hurried in their approach, snapping at Balboa's heels. And then when they do win back possession, looking to counter quickly. Fascinating contrast of styles between these 2 teams. St. Croix now with the free kick, too far out for a shot, I would think, unless you're Roberto Carlos. So likely a dink here over the back of the Balboa defence, and that's exactly what it is. Looking for a St. Croix head, but it goes out unmolested. So 10 minutes in, no score as of yet. 2 teams, though, playing some good football. It's clear to see why they are here at this stage. They know their way around a soccer field, that's for sure. Balboa just living a little dangerously in their own defence. Good work from St. Croix, maybe an opportunity for a shot here. There is! Sees Zetterberg scrambling, but doesn't need to get a hand on it ultimately as the shot goes wide. Again, I do apologise, but the distance from the shot and the very light-coloured numbers on the back of the white jerseys making it very challenging to identify the attempted goal scorer there. I think it was Ozuzu. I believe that was number 30. Long ball from Balboa, spraying the field from right to left. Brought down beautifully. Rosales rolling it back to Navas. Again, the ball swung from right to left, flicked on by Estelle. And cleared out by St. Croix, but again, back in possession. Torres now spreading the play to the far side of the field. Balboa making advances down the right-hand side. And doing a wonderful job of using the whole width of the field. Ball into the middle of the box. Snapshot. Comes out to the left-hand side. Another shot, but that's a tame effort. It was Navas with the initial shot. Caden Berg with the follow-up. See what he was trying to do. Just not able to make a clean contact. Carlson able to gather that very easily, but a mistake in the back of the Balboa defence. Can St. Croix take advantage? No, Zetterberg, a relieved Zetterberg, gathering the ball eventually. I'm not sure if that was a mistake from Balboa or just a crazy bounce on turf, but you can get on occasion. The ball seemed to pop up as opposed to spin forward. And that gave, again, I think it was Ozuzu, an opportunity to start putting pressure on the Balboa defence. Zetterberg was a little out of position. That could have been a whole lot worse. Cadenberg again trying to bring the ball under a spell. Gets knocked to the ground in the process. Asking the referee, what about that? Referee says nothing doing. If we have an opportunity, guys, I'd love to see that crazy bouncing ball at the other end of the field and how Zetterberg was caught out quite so badly. Again, it didn't lead to a goal, but it could have done. I think that was the closest we've come in this match so far. Perhaps a word of warning to both teams. Turf isn't always going to bounce quite as you expect it to. Not all turf is the same. Turf bounces differently as it ages. Nice collection from Zetterberg. And if you're playing on a field you're unfamiliar with, and of course these two teams are, neither team here playing on their home turf. At this stage in the competition, it's neutral grounds. So if they're unfamiliar with this Wichita field, well, again, word to the wise. Be mindful of the bounce. Balboa in possession. Chipping the ball out to the left-hand side. Rivera trying to get on the end of it, but well intercepted by St. Croix. Oh, lovely spin out on the left-hand side, and St. Croix now looking to attack, and they have numbers. It's a 4-on-4 situation. Able to find a man in the box. They dink it in. Good clearance. Snapshot easily gathered by Zetterberg. Like the effort, but again didn't catch it cleanly. Ended up driving it into the ground. Zetterberg in the Balboa goal, relieved as he easily gathers that shot in. Balboa with the free kick. A rough and tumble. Not much in it. The referee deciding Balboa's ball. Balboa, though, turning it over very cheaply. Again, great work from St. Croix. Really snapping at heels, and that's a much better shot. Definitely got hold of all of that one. Zetterberg diving full length, but once again, just wide of the post. St. Croix looking so dangerous on the counter-attack. It's this young man out here on the right wing, which, if we stay with him for a moment here, hopefully he'll turn around. And the moment I say that, we get a replace. Really want to be able to give that guy his flowers, though. He looks like one of the most dangerous players on the field. Just so challenging to make out these numbers. Again, I apologise for that. That looks like it might be number 17. St. Croix, we don't have a 17. All we have is Christiansen or Tomlinson, and again on second glance it looks like it's 37. So now we at least know that Tomlinson is the most significant threat that St. Croix have had to offer in the opening 15 minutes. His pace, his trickery, his technique, keeping the Balboa defence on their toes. I bet that young man has more yet to say in this game today. Right now, though, 16 minutes into the match, still goose eggs all round. No goals. St. Croix coming the closest. Balboa have had a couple of looks on goal, but it's St. Croix who really create the most dangerous opportunities. A couple of them self-crafted, and one of them a mistimed bounce, catching the Balboa goalkeeper out of position. Nothing massively clean cut beyond that. And then when you come to this stage of the playoffs, you do expect it to be a close affair. I was kind of surprised that LA 10 were able to turn over Deportivo Rose City by a scoreline of 3-0. I guess that speaks to just how good LA 10 have been this season. Balboa again, back in possession. moving the ball around, just trying to find an opening, trying to find some space. Rivera, they're losing possession. And it's St. Croix now looking to attack down, again, once more down the right-hand side. Tomlinson tries to get on it. Strong defending from St. Croix. The ball ultimately finds its way to Tomlinson. He looks to spread it. It's intercepted, but it comes back to St. Croix. Nice work carrying the ball out of defence, but equally great defending from Balboa. They now looking to make headway down the left-hand side through Caden Berg. Ball rolls out of play. Neither of these two teams topping their respective conferences this season. St. Croix Soccer Club ply their trade in the Midwest West. And they ended up second this year. 3 points behind first place St. Paul Blackhawks. They had a strong season though, 23 points in total. Won 7 of the 10 games, only lost 1. Managed to score 28 goals in the process, conceding just 9. Balboa attacking down the right-hand side. Ball across the box, easily dealt with by St. Croix, heading the ball calmly back into Carlson's hands. Balboa had a slightly more testing season, and we'll come on to that in just a second. St. Croix looking to break through the middle. Balboa with an effort to slide the ball out defence. I think it's Alzuzu who skips away, but last man back able to tidy things up. There's some pace in this front line with St. Croix. These guys have some wheels. So Balboa FC plying their trade in the Texas North Conference this year, coming in 3rd in the league. 4 points behind the league leaders. Second place was Sporting NTX and the conference winners 4-0 Soccer Club. Balboa winning just 6 of the 10 games this season in the league, scoring only 16 goals and conceding 8 in the process. So respectfully, not what you consider to be a banner year for Balboa FC, but they have turned it on and then some in the playoffs. They've become a whole other animal. They've become incredibly difficult to break down at the back and very judicious about their goal scoring. And so they find themselves now in the quarterfinals against the much favoured St. Croix, and Balboa will be hoping for another upset tonight. Referee whistles. Well, I thought the referee whistled in St. Croix's favour. It seemed to be what he was indicating with his arm, but perhaps there was an offside. I think there was. Or it was either an offside or a foul. I didn't see a foul, so I'm thinking probably an offside. Either way, Balboa back in possession. Balboa with their heavy Argentinian influence. Majority of their coaching staff being Argentinian. There's some Argentinian flair for you there. That was very Messi-esque. Ball dinked into the box. Trying to find Berg. Just goes a little long. He does a good job, though, of reclaiming it and playing it inside to Rivera. Rivera now trying to find a teammate. That's an excellent shot. Well blocked as well by Carlson, but it's still not cleared, and Balboa back in possession. Only one man to aim for in the middle of the box. It's not enough, and St. Croix able to finally clear their lines. Good work from Balboa and strong hands from Carlson in the St. Croix goal. I'm sure we'll see a replay of that. Down on the ground for Balboa. Recipient of a heavy challenge. Both players going for the ball. I think that's what the referee's saying. He's saying, I get it, you were going for the ball, but you took out the man, so let's just be careful. Or words to that effect. Good to see a replay of that last Balboa attack if we have an opportunity. If only to see that excellent save again from Carlson in the Minnesota goal. Estelle does seem to be some degree of discomfort down there. So we're going back to the free kick. Well, you can see two players going for the same ball, and arguably Estelle was the one who actually made contact. He connected with the ball, and then he followed through, again, inadvertently connected with the opposing player. Glad to see he's back on his feet. All into Fox from Balboa. Oh, headed up by St. Croix. This is going to be dangerous. Carlson, though, glad to grab it in. It was Lupo underneath it. Didn't get the power he wanted. Lupo looping the ball into Carlson's hands. It was right under his crossbar, though. No margin for error. And the Minnesota goalkeeper standing his ground. Long ball from St. Croix, headed out well from Balboa. St. Croix, though, contesting that second ball. Again, good work from Balboa. Played it out to the left-hand side. Nice speed and feet from Berg, but the ball was adjudged to have gone out. Is that earlier attempt? Oh, good again. Good hands from Carlson. It was maybe Rivera who got the shot away. Thanks to our friends at Veta Media for that replay. Again, Balboa in possession. Very comfortable, very capable on the ball. St. Croix doing a nice job, though, closing down the spaces, collapsing the channels, making it difficult for Balboa to find a clear way to goal. Ball chipped into the box over the head. I think it was Rivera who was looking to flick it on. Looking a little untidy now. Balboa with a shot from distance. I can tell you that in the other quarter-final, we have a break in play here on 25 minutes. I mentioned at the top of the broadcast that it's about 91 degrees here in Wichita and very, very muggy. So I didn't realize we were going to have a water break, but I don't hate it. Smart move from the officials. It's going to be very, very sweaty out there on the field. Speaking as someone who has had kidney stones, they are excruciating, and I wouldn't wish them on anyone. So taking on fluids is very important. So we will honour this break here for a moment or two, and I can tell you that in the other quarterfinal between Chicago and New York, currently Chicago are leading by a score of 2-1. I think the game has gone into extra time. Trying to double check that for you. Yeah, Chicago Nation currently leading 2-1 against New York Braveheart. We're in the 97th minute, so that suggests that we are into extra time. I know the game was 1-1 for the longest time. So I believe the game has gone into extra time and Chicago have taken the lead. Just seeing the highlights from the first 25 minutes. That Errant bounce on the turf that caught out Zetterberg in the Balboa goal. The shot there from, I believe that was Rivera, drawing a great save out of Carlson. We've had some interesting moments in this match. Neither team able to make the breakthrough yet. That Chicago-New York game indeed must have gone into extra time, because right now... Well, no, excuse me, for a second there the ground screen graphic was saying half-time, now it's saying full-time. And indeed, Chicago Nation FC are the UPSL East Region Final champion to Chicago. Commiserations to New York. Good job on a great season. But it's Chicago who advance to the semi-finals. So we now know Chicago in the semi-finals. LA 10. We're waiting to see who will advance here between St. Croix and Balboa. And then tomorrow is the last quarterfinal. Tennessee Tempo facing Miami United. Once that game has concluded, we will have our full suite of semi-finalists. Chicago will be playing the winners of Tennessee Tempo and Miami United. And as I've mentioned already a couple of times, the winner of this game will play LA 10. Shaping up nicely, huh, folks? Don't you love it when you get to the business end of the season? So much fun. Hopefully this won't be the last you hear from me on broadcast this season. I do hope I get to cover either one of the semi-final games or perhaps the final match. Edda Media folks, if you're listening, I'm available. Put me in, coach. For right now, it's St. Croix with the ball, putting a ball into the box. Referee decides it's a free kick. A little too much wrestling going on. That's a different sport, gentlemen. It's stick to soccer tonight. The referee's jogging back to have a word with a St. Croix forward, I think wanting him to come back the full 10 yards. And despite all of that, the ball finds its way back to Zetterberg. Balboa in possession, 30 minutes in. The score remains 0-0. Balboa maintained possession. There was a foul there, but the referee quite rightly says play on, and now Balboa may have an opportunity. Create something down the left-hand side. Ball comes in the middle. Seems to amble a little bit, and St. Croix able to get in a tackle, but the ball finds its way back to Balboa. Nice little shielded pass, tucking it inside, but Balboa just not able to find a clear shooting lane. And now St. Croix looking to attack on the counter, as has been their MO most of the match. Balboa, though, doing a good job of winning possession back. Backing the ball out to the right-hand side. Two teammates to aim for in the middle of the box. Oh, steps over it. That was a smart idea from Rosales. You could see what he was thinking. There was no one directly behind him. Caden Berg has to wheel away and go and retrieve the ball. Plays it into Estelle, gets it back. Tucks it inside. Again, trying to create space for the shot, but it's not opening up. There is a shot. High wide. And not ideal. They give Navas credit, though, for pulling the trigger. Stojovski teeing him up. Navas getting everything behind that. Good power. Just too much air. Oh, a lovely little drag out here on the right-hand side. St. Croix tucking the ball through the middle, but there's nobody there running onto it. And of all the choices available to him, that was patently the wrong one, as his teammates are pointing out. And Croix win possession back again, looking to counter-attack again. They have good numbers up now. Asking a lot of the winger. Runs out of field. Not quite. The ball manages to stay in and ends up being a goal kick at the end of the day. Gotta say, these St. Croix wingers never know when they're beat. They never give up the ghost on a ball that appears to be going out. And you have to give them kudos for that. That persistence is going to pay off on one of these occasions, you'd imagine. Well, you might think of these two teams that Balboa FC, heralding from Fort Worth, Texas, would be more used to this heat and humidity here in Kansas than St. Croix from the Twin City area of Minnesota. But having spent a lot of time in both states, I can tell you Minnesota is very humid, especially in the summer. Mosquitoes the size of your hand and, yeah, very, very close and humid. Ball into the box, headed over the top from Rivera. Does a good job actually getting on the end of that one. That came in with a lot of air. He got a good vertical, got something of it, but wasn't able to direct it on net. So the St. Croix players will not be unaccustomed to these temperatures and, again, the closeness of the air around them. Obviously, their winters are a lot harsher than those you get in Fort Worth, generally speaking. The St. Croix players do have more miles on the clock, though. I'm imagining both teams probably travelled here in coaches. And for Balboa, that would have been a road trip of about 4.5, 5 hours. Whereas for St. Croix, it would have been twice that almost. Probably 9.5 hours. You do not want to do a nearly 20-hour round trip and lose and go out the playoffs. Ball chipped into the box. Good header at the back post. Oh, contesting with Zetterberg. It didn't really come out very convincingly. The last touch was off, I think. Ozuzu. Balboa with the goal kick. Watch that one back again. Again, nice little header back toward Ozuzu. Does get the touch. Asking a lot of him. He had a defender on top of him and Zetterberg also close by. Couldn't have done much more than he did there. Maybe he could have tried to flick the ball goalward, but that was asking a lot. With very little time and space to operate in. 10 minutes to go in the half. Again, still 0-0. Neither team quite able to make the breakthrough, although both of them now increasingly getting sights on goal. Zetterberg and Carlson getting busier as the night goes on. Balboa winning themselves a free kick. Again, probably just a little too far out for the shot. Would need to be Beckham-esque to trouble the goalkeeper from here. But if delivered well, it could create a little chaos in the St. Croix defence. Refereeing having a good long word with just about everybody, it seems. Everybody knows what they're doing and what they shouldn't be doing. Referee's watching them like a hawk. Ball comes into the box. Oh, that's a clear header! Oh, and it's over the bar! From Cadenberg! And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he had the sun in his eyes. If you look at the way the shadows are falling, he was looking into the sun. But for a player of his stature, and with a ball dropped directly onto his head, really would have expected him to get that on frame. Again, perhaps he was a little blinded by the sun. Have to make allowance for that, but that was a great opportunity for Balboa FC. He still would have had to beat Carlson in the St. Croix goal, who's proven himself to be a pretty handy keeper so far this evening. I guarantee you, Caden Berg is wishing to have that one back. Noticing there are two Bergs in the Balboa FC lineup. There's the aforementioned Caden and then number 20, Kaysenberg. And I'm wondering if they are related. I'm imagining they must be, right? Seems like a parenty thing to do, to name your kids Kaysen and Caden, coming from a dad here who named his kids Ethan and Ella. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that those two are probably brothers, although who knows, maybe they're cousins or something, but I would bet cold hard cash money on them being related. Long throw in from Croix, gathering it up on the left hand side. Nice defending from Lupo. Dogged, loses the ball though on the second attempt, but Balboa not giving up on anything. The referee giving the free kick in favour of Balboa. I guess he judged the St. Croix player to be smothering the ball while on the ground, which you're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to impede the progress of the ball while you are on the ground, or words to that effect. It's Balboa again in possession. Neat and tidy, trying to work the ball down the right hand side. Come up a little short, St. Croix not able to clear, but do get it on the second attempt. Ball finds its way back to Carlson. He's adjudging his options before spraying it long. Pretty much straight down the centre of the park. Flicked on header, nobody running onto it. It finds its way to the other goalkeeper, Setterberg. Five minutes and change to go in the half. Can either team find the breakthrough before they have to head to the locker room? Long ball all the way out to Caden Berg, who's been chasing lost causes most of the night. His teammates anxious to find him, but everything they're playing to him is just that little bit long or that little bit wide, causing him to have to chase it off the field of play or out wide and gather it back in. He's only really had one ball of any note. It's come to him exactly where he's wanted it, and that was just a moment or two ago. That header that he misjudged. Much as I said earlier, though, with Tomlinson for St. Croix, I don't think Caden Berg is going to be marginalised in this game. He has more yet to say this evening. St. Croix trying to be cheeky, thread a pass through with the outside of the foot. Ball makes its way back to Tomlinson. He rolls it inside. It gets rolled completely across the field. From right to left, tucked back inside again now. St. Croix pulling, prodding, pushing, trying to open up Balboa. Trying to find space for a shot. Balboa, they're doing a nice job of winning the ball back and maintaining possession, which has by and large been their MO this half. Did a good job of finding space, certainly in their defensive third and in the middle third. Some trouble truly opening up the St. Croix defence in that attacking third. But as the game wears on and legs get tired, spaces might open up. Not expecting the temperature to change very much between now and the end of the match. It's still probably going to be in the low 90s, high 80s with high humidity throughout. Really is energy sapping. Rivera, number 10 for Balboa FC, really likes to pull the strings, doesn't he? Kicks the ball over the top. Shepherded out from St. Croix. About 2.5 minutes of regulation still to go, plus whatever the referee adds on. Very entertaining first half so far, despite there not being any goals as of yet. Both teams could have scored, though. St. Croix's best opportunity probably coming from a missed judge bounce by Setterberg in the Balboa goal, almost letting Azuzu in behind. Not quite able to make the most of that. And just a few minutes ago, we saw Caden Berg on the end of a wonderful free kick. Not the greatest header. Wasn't able to trouble Carlson in the St. Croix goal on that occasion, though arguably he should have done. There have been a couple of other chances here and there. St. Croix largely living off counter-attacks. Balboa having the bulk of the possession. Patiently trying to open up the St. Croix defence. Unsuccessfully up to this point. Those things can change in a second, can't they? Balboa working the ball out to the right-hand side. Good work from Ostajovski. Going to get the ball into the box. Good defending from St. Croix. And we have a corner late on. Just a minute of regulation to go. This would be a great opportunity, a great time, excuse me, for... Let me start that again. This would be a great opportunity for Balboa if they could strike. For the half-time whistle. I feel sorry for the corner taker. He has to walk all the way over there to go get the ball. Where's the ball, boys, when you need them, huh? It's these days. Huh, am I right? Pretense at a short corner. Easily read by St. Croix and ultimately dispensed of by Balboa. It'll be a corner deep into the box. Target probably being number 5, Lupo. Almost finds his way back to him. Well headed up from St. Croix. Flicked back into the box again. Well defended from St. Croix. A third effort flashed over the crossbar. Not close, but ambitious. So now we are into ref's discretionary time. We're going to see that play again. Here comes the first ball. Out it goes. Here comes the second. Out that goes. And then onto the left foot. Carlson watches it sail away harmlessly. Balboa, though, looking for another attack before that half-time whistle. St. Croix getting back in numbers, trying to maintain their shape. Lovely ball chipped into the back post just a little too long ago. Long again, though. Estelle rushes to gather it. Good work from St. Croix. Really good defending. Estelle's hurrying to get back. Does a really good job, too. Fantastic work in the Balboa left back. Got to say, I feel for Balboa. I have played in all black uniforms, and they look awesome. But on a day like today, they can be brutal. Because, of course, they're absorbing the heat far more than a white uniform. Worst combo of all, black uniform, black cleats. That's excruciating on a hot day on turf. Balboa once again doing a great job of maintaining possession. The players seem so aware of the space around them. Referee deciding on a free kick. Good call. I think it was a free kick just a second or two before that. The referee wanted to see how the play developed and did a good job of calling it back. But again, Balboa do such a nice job of scanning the space and being aware of where their teammates are, where the oncoming pressure is, where the space is. I think that's why they've done such a successful job of maintaining possession in long stretches. We've seen in the previous 2 playoff rounds, 1 goal is all it takes for Balboa to advance. On both of their prior matches by a score of 1-0. Can they get that 1 goal now? Chipped into the box from Rivera. Oh, almost finds its way to the very back post. And deflects off a St. Croix defender. Little untidy. And they double down on that untidiness, giving away a cheap throw-in to Balboa. Estelle with it. Pitches it back to Torres. Torres spreading it into his central defensive partner Lupo, and it's he who will have the last touch of the half as the referee whistles with 3 minutes of added time. That's enough. We are done with the first period, and at the end of the first period, St. Croix SC 0, Balboa FC 0. Again, very entertaining first half. Chances at both ends. Neither team yet able to crack the code and find that opener. As the teams head off to the locker room for a break, we're going to do likewise. I'm going to take on some fluids too. I'm going to go get me a sparkling water, I think. Enjoy the first half highlights, and I will rejoin you before the second half.
Recovery, once again the cross, they could shoot, and it's in!
As that guy Fran, he cuts inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful work from Fran.
Over the right side, the shot and the goal! The recovery, once again the cross, they could shoot, and it's in!
As that guy Fran, he cuts inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful work from Fran.
Over the right side, the shot and the goal! The recovery, once again the cross, they could shoot, and it's in!
As that guy Fran, he cuts inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful work from Fran.
Over the right side, the shot and the goal! The recovery, once again the cross, they could shoot, and it's in!
As that guy Fran, he cuts inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful work from Fran.
Over the right side, the shot and the goal! shoot, the recovery, once again the cross, they could shoot, and it's in!
That goes through, he gets inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful work from Brad.
Balboa on the right side, the shot and the goal! Martin, Nico con la shoot, the recovery, once again the cross, they could shoot, and it's in!
That goes through, he gets inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful work from Brad.
Balboa on the right side, the shot and the goal! Martin, Nico con la shoot, the recovery, once again the cross, they could shoot, and it's in!
That goes through, he gets inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful work from Brad.
Balboa on the right side, the shot and the goal! Martin, Nico con la shoot, the recovery, once again the cross, they could shoot, and it's in!
That goes through, he gets inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful work from Brad.
Balboa on the right side, the shot and the goal! Martin, Nico con la shoot, the recovery, once again the cross, they could shoot, and it's in!
That goes through, he gets inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful work from Brad.
Balboa on the right side, the shot and the goal! Martin, Nico con la shoot, the recovery, once again the cross, they could shoot, and it's in!
That goes through, he gets inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful work from Brad.
Balboa on the right side, the shot and the goal! Martin, Nico Polacic with the recovery, once again the cross, they could shoot, and it's in!
As that guy Fran, he gets inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful one from Fran.
Balboa on the right side, the shot and the goal! Martin, Nico Polacic with the recovery, once again the cross, they could shoot, and it's in!
As that guy Fran, he gets inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful one from Fran.
Balboa on the right side, the shot and the goal! Martin, Nico Polacic with the recovery, once again the cross, they could shoot, and it's in!
As that guy Fran, he gets inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful one from Fran.
Balboa on the right side, the shot and the goal! Martin, Nico Polacic with the recovery, once again the cross, they could shoot, and it's in!
As that guy Fran, he gets inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful one from Fran.
Balboa on the right side, the shot and the goal! Martin, Nico Polacic with the recovery, once again the cross, they could shoot, and it's in!
As that guy Fran, he gets inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful one from Fran.
Balboa on the right side, the shot and the goal! Martin, Nico Polacic with the recovery, once again the cross, they could shoot, and it's in!
As that guy Fran, he gets inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful one from Fran.
Balboa on the right side, the shot and the goal! recovery. Once again the cross. They could shoot, and it's in!
As that goes round, he cuts inside and gets a shot past the goalkeeper. Wonderful work from Brad. Welcome back to our broadcast here of the UPSL National Quarterfinals. Showing the first half highlights. A shot from St. Croix, flashing wide of the post. Balboa at the other end. Not able to get anything on goal to test Carlson. This long kick from Carlson, though, caused panic in the ranks. You can see it took an odd bounce. Zetterberg not quite sure how to deal with it. St. Croix not able to make the most of it, but a dangerous moment for Balboa. St. Croix again with another shot just wide of Zetterberg's left-hand post. His hammer shot from Rosales, testing Carlson. Or shot over the top from Navas. Ozuzu not able to get on this head ball back. And speaking of headers, there was an excellent opportunity for Caden Berg. It's a pretty even Stevens at half when it comes to opportunities that have fallen to these two teams. Neither, though, yet able to convert. Which is why we find ourselves 0-0 at the break. Excited to be with you here from the Striker Sports Complex in Wichita, Kansas. Of course, at this stage in playoffs, the games do have to be at neutral grounds, which is why we are neither in Minnesota, the home of St. Croix in the Twin Cities, nor Fort Worth, which is where Balboa FC herald from. It is a hot and muggy night in Wichita, Kansas, which is very typical in July. It's made it tough going for these two teams, but the energy levels have been high, and they have had the benefit of a water break midway through the first half, which I'm assuming they'll also get to do again in the second half. Strong possession-based game from Balboa in that first 45. St. Croix looking dangerous on the counter-attack. It'll be interesting to see if these two teams adopt the same approach in this second 45. We have to have a winner today, guys. We need to know who fills that semi-final spot where LA10 await as opposition. The referee just checking with the linesmen, with the goalkeepers. And we will run this game to its conclusion. Who will be the next semi-finalist in the UPSL National Finals? Balboa defending a deep ball in from St. Croix. St. Croix in the white uniforms, going from right to left on your screen. Balboa in the all black, going from left to right. Early free kick for St. Croix. Ball dropped over the back of the Balboa defence, or at least an attempted to. Oh, and a bicycle kick. That would have been a goal worthy of a national playoff match, that's for sure. Not able to get that effort on frame, but you have to love the audacity. Free kick wasn't the best. Didn't find its way over the Balboa defence. They were able to intercept it, but only headed it up, creating that bicycle kick opportunity in the process. Still, we remain scoreless. Work from Balboa again. They've been excellent in possession this evening and win themselves a dangerous free kick on this occasion. But what can they conjure from this free kick out on the left-hand side? It's going to be, it looks like it's going to be a right-footed in-swinger. Natural targets in the box would be Pustajovsky, excuse me. Apologies, easy for me to say. I can't even do it again. Jaskovsky, as well as Caden Berg, who got the header earlier. Actually, a shot almost on frame. Oh my gosh, what causes the reflexes of Carlson to be tested. And ultimately, he keeps the ball out. There was panic there for a second, though. The St. Croix goal. Apologies to Pustajevsky. You spend the entire pre-broadcast saying Pustajovsky. Pustajovsky? Is it that way? Is it Pustajovsky? And then you get into the broadcast and your mind goes completely blank. I believe it is Pustajovsky. I shall try and say that from here on out. It is Pustajovsky who gets dispossessed there. Balboa. Not quite sure why St. Croix have possession. Carlson coming out to take the free kick. We have an opportunity. It'd be great if our folks from Veta Media might be able to run that last attack back. I'd love to see again how Carlson kept that ball out of the goal. It seemed to pop up in front of him. I think we all thought it was going to be a testing free kick with that right foot bending in on the goalkeeper, but ultimately a free kick that was more of a cross in nature. In fact, it ended up being more of a shot. It ricocheted around. Carlson was on his way down. First yellow card of the match. You could argue with that. It was a pretty cynical tackle. It was maybe Ruiz. Either Ruiz or Rivera. St. Croix had a little momentum and they simply lunged in, making sure they couldn't get any further. First yellow card of the game. Took 50 minutes to see it. That's been a pretty even-handed game up till this point. Not a whole lot for the referee to do. Free kick into the back post. Just goes wide of the onrushing St. Croix strikers. Not a bad attempt. Balboa again showing their comfort in possession, even in their defensive third. Defending from Balboa, clearing the ball. St. Croix, though, intercepting. Going to Balboa in the process. Apologies there for being a touch distracted. I was just trying to fathom the defensive, the substitution switch that had happened, and I think number 18, Gabriel Ruiz, or Balboa, has left the field. to be replaced by number 19, Diego Cruz. So a change in the Balboa midfield. Don't know if that was enforced, if that was more of a tactical switch. I know Ruiz was more of a central defensive midfielder. I think Cruz is maybe a little more offensively minded, so maybe it was a tactical switch, something to try and get Balboa a little higher up the field and create those openings. They've had, again, good possession throughout, but being able to find those openings has been a real challenge for them. They have a challenge now with the ball ricocheting into the path of St. Croix. Carrying the ball up the field pretty well until the last moment. But again, you have to think that this turf is having a play on the game. That ball seemed to bounce up and pop up a little bit. Kind of odd bouncing motion that it had there. It had just been the touch from the player, but just didn't seem to want to sit down. Ball kept hopping up. Either way, Balboa able to nullify the danger. Balboa swinging the ball out to the left-hand side. Good header from St. Croix. Back to their goalkeeper. Nice look on the crossfield ball from Pustajovski.
How many more?
10 minutes into the half. Nothing too significant to address. A couple of little sights on goal at both ends of the field. Olsen being asked to demonstrate acrobatic ability on one occasion. But still, neither team able to find the back of the net. Good shot from Pustajovski. Created his own space. Flashed the ball over the bar though. Well, as we've mentioned several times already in the broadcast, the winner of this game will play LA10 in the semi-final. The semi-final will be contested between Chicago Nation, who beat New York Braveheart earlier today, and they will face the winners of Tennessee Tempo and Miami United play tomorrow. So by end of the day tomorrow, we will have our 4 semi-finalists. We will know who are going toe-to-toe for that final spot in LA. The semi-finals will take place on August the 8th. Third place game and the final itself will take place on August the 10th. Who will be in LA on August the 10th? Will LA have home advantage? Will it be Chicago? Possibly Miami. Maybe Tennessee. Or it could be a team from Fort Worth, or indeed a team from Minnesota. Good defending from St. Croix. Pustajovski making himself more of a nuisance this half. That's a great shot, a great shot half. A stay from Carlson. Then it comes off the post. How did that not go in? The flag has gone up for offside, so wouldn't have counted. It was a great initial shot. Carlson getting hands on it. The ball comes back to Berg. He drills it off the far post with the goal at his mercy. His blush is only marginally spared by the linesman raising his flag to say that Berg was offside, but that's two really good looks on goal that Berg has had. Both of which I'm sure he'd want back. Again, that being said, had that goal gone in, it wouldn't have counted. Third time's the charm for Caden Berg. Oh, and it won't be because Caden Berg has just been substituted. That's a harsh pill to swallow. I feel bad for him. Berg has left the field. I think he's been replaced. I'm not sure exactly who by. We're going to confirm that for you in just a second. Caden Berg could have been the hero there. Instead, finds himself trudging to the bench. Had an excellent game. Worked really tirelessly for his team. Retrieving balls and making himself available. Getting on the end of a dangerous free kick in the first half. The fact he wasn't able to hit the net just moments ago, again, is a moot point. It would have been offside. I'm quite sure he'd rather have had his night end, if he was going to be substituted regardless, by scoring a goal that was called back and ringing the post and being frustrated by it. Either way, he's no longer on the field of play. He's going to have to hope his teammates can do it, and they can't do it with that.
Let's go, Balboa. We got this now. We got this now. Are you already tired?
One of the things I love about these two states, the two states being represented here, Texas and Minnesota, is they have sensational state fairs. St. Croix on the attack. We'll come back to the idea of state fairs here in just a moment because St. Croix have numbers. Oh, great defending from Balboa. Absolutely excellent defending. Good anticipation, not jumping in. Wonderful work from the other young Berg, Kaysen, number 20. Did an awesome job of just staying upright, narrowing the channel, and then ultimately making the interception. Props to him. But yes, these two states argue about who has the biggest, best state fair in all of America, and there's certainly 1 and 2. The order in which they go, that's entirely up to individual preference. St. Croix again on the attack, ball goes long. Gathered by Zetterberg, who releases it quickly. Balboa now looking to try and get something going. Maybe taking a leaf out of St. Croix's book and looking to utilise the counter-attack. Pastajovski going backwards this time. Corres now in possession. He looks upfield. Nothing doing. Slides it inside to Rivera. Pastajovski's come inside. He and Rivera 1-2. But again, a lot of sideways work from Balboa, not much going forward. Finds its way to Navas. Navas rolling it back to Lupo. Lupo tucking it into, guess who? Rivera, who's in the middle of everything. Now the ball goes long. The odds were against them. That was I think it was number 43, Medina, who I assume has come on for Berg. That's that mystery solved at least. Defence from St. Croix. A little 1-2 as well in the back line, although it could be in trouble there. That seemed unnecessary. Why the ball was getting rolled back under pressure. Dangerous, dangerous from St. Croix. For my money, that appears as though Balboa have made two, again, offensive substitutions. Perhaps in an effort to give the St. Croix defence something new and different to think about. Excellent defending from St. Croix. Balboa starting to turn the screw here a little bit now. Pressure's going to be released though. St. Croix winning themselves a free kick. As I mentioned, I have been to both state fairs. They are both excellent. If you're a state fair fan, I can recommend them. Food at both the fairs is absolutely artery clogging, as you would expect. And no, I cannot pick a favourite. Although I will say I milked a cow at the Minnesota State Fair, and that's the only state fair at which I've done that. So, not going to lie, I do have a soft spot for Minnesota. Balboa clearing their lines. Looking to try and create something at the other end, but again, slowing down, being pressed by St. Croix, who do such a good job of getting back quickly and getting their shape. Over an hour into the game and still no goals. We have Kevin Tiero, number 99, out on the right-hand side now for Balboa. In the original roster, the right-wing position was taken up by Evan Pustajovsky. So I'm wondering if he snuck off as a substitute without us noticing. Which is quite the feat, because he's not a small guy. I think he's headed to the bench under our very noses. Being replaced by number 99, Kevin Tiero. Balboa FC certainly leaving no stone unturned, no card unplayed in their efforts to find a game-winning goal. I'm sure front of mind for Balboa is the fact that one goal and one goal alone was perfectly sufficient for them to advance through the last two rounds of the playoffs. I'm sure they'd be quite happy to 1-0 all the way to a UPSL national final title. It could be one goal that settles this game. It's been so tight. Might be all it needs.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Go, Lupo. There you go, Lupo.
Balboa with a corner, go short. Going to have another corner for their troubles. Rivera trying to deliver a cross. Just cheating up 10 yards off that corner. His effort intercepted. So I'm noticing the scoreboard and our clock on screen are about 30 seconds apart. So that's just something to bear in mind. I imagine the officials are going off the scoreboard clock. So when we get to 90 seconds on the screen, bear in mind there's probably another 30 seconds of regulation to play. Balboa with the corner. Goes to the front post, headed away from St. Croix. Not a particularly good corner, but Balboa may have an opportunity to gather it in for a second effort. Well cleared from St. Croix, though. Balboa having to go all the way back into their own half. St. Croix now back in possession. Taking the ball into the channel, headed away from Balboa, acrobatically punted forward again from St. Croix, only for Balboa to take possession once more. It's Torres in the back, just settling things down once more. I don't know that settling things down is necessarily what Balboa need at the moment. Need to pick up the pace a little bit, and that's exactly what St. Croix are doing. Good interception, ball into the middle, try to find a teammate, lose it in the process, and Balboa now on the attack. Don't slow it down, Balboa. Let's go up a gear. Instead, they slow it down. St. Croix are just too athletic. They're too efficient at getting bodies back behind the ball, at getting their shape very, very quickly. That's a deep cross. That may challenge the goalkeeper. Doesn't quite find the head. The teammate, but it was a good cross into the box. Kaysenberg Oh, was it an offside? Yes, so. Zetterberg driving the ball high up the field. St. Croix not able to bring it under their spell. Sorry, I think I just said Zetterberg. It was Carlson, of course, in the St. Croix goal. You know, you can go an entire season without mispronouncing a name or making a wrong call, and then suddenly you get two at once, or in quick succession. Like buses in England. Stood around waiting for one for half an hour, and then three show up at once. Balboa with the free kick. Edging up on the 70th minute. Not sure what the referee's playing at. Rolls the ball away and then rolls it back. I guess maybe he was testing how round it was. Anyway, deep free kick from Balboa. Moving in the 70th minute. Delivered short. Rolled back. Chipped into the box. Gathered without any fuss whatsoever by Carlson. Ooh, Carlson doesn't get the best purchase on his goal kick. Now Balboa on the attack. Shot from Tiero. Ricochets off the St. Croix defence and out for a throw-in. Nice turn from Balboa. Drops it inside, looks for the return ball, not able to get on it, and I think, again, the offside flag has gone up once more. Balboa have been struggling with that all night. On the rare occasion they've been able to get in behind the St. Croix defence. The linesman has been their nemesis. Or, I suppose more accurately, they haven't done a particularly good job of timing their incursions, allowing themselves to get caught off in the process. And we have the break for fluids once more, just as we did in the first half. Players back on the field. Game resumes. One kick out from Zetterberg, from Carlson. And we are officially at walking pace, which you can kind of understand, as hot as it is here. Again, it's 90, 91 degrees, intense humidity here in Wichita, Kansas. We knew it was going to have a draining effect on the players. Explains why there are so many substitutions being made. Fresh legs, or desperate attempt there from Balboa. Try and clip that ball into the box. Got to applaud the effort, and ultimately it goes out of play. Fresh legs might be the difference in this game. Croix, one of the substitutes, to score the game-winning goal. That's what they're there for, of course. This is not a game of 11. You need the entire bench. Game by game and throughout the season. Good defending from Balboa. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. The ball gets released to Tiero. Tiero, with very few options ahead of him, decides to cut back inside. Looks to chip it into the middle. Ball gets clipped away, but the referee decides free kick. Very smart play from Tiero. As he was hurtling down the field, he picked his head up and realised he only had two players to aim at. It was going to be hard to get to either of them, so he cuts inside in an effort to try and create a simpler pass. Straightforward square ball, and gets clipped in the attempt. So well done. And if this free kick leads to something more, it'll be especially well done. I think the referee might be asking for another ball here. He was testing the ball earlier, if you remember. And I suspect we have a different match ball now. Not sure what was wrong with the old one. Perhaps it too was tired. Maybe the ball also required a substitution. So I think we have a fresh ball in play. And we had Rivera. I imagine it's Navas. Stood over it. And Balboa find a good free kick. And they find something here that will test Carlson. Navas leads it. Rivera, not too far wide. And he holds his face, realising that was about 90% of the way perfect. Good pace. Good height. Accuracy just a fraction off. There'd be few players on the field more deserving than Rivera to score what could potentially be a game winner. He has been involved in everything that Balboa have done. He has been an absolute energizer bunny. Dropping back, spreading the ball from left to right, making himself available. Right, as I say that, he gets dispossessed, but his midfield teammate Navas slides in to help him out, and then Rivera ultimately tidies up. Again, excellent work from that pairing. Navas looks to come inside. Rivera asks for it, but decides to go outside instead. And that doesn't quite work out for Kaysenberg. Got into the habit now of saying Kaysenberg because We've had a Cadenberg on the field earlier. It felt like I needed to do that, but now that Caden has left the field, I guess I can just go to saying Berg, right? We're all okay with that? Okay, good. St. Croix with the throw-in. Taking a while to deliver it. Referee's decided we're ready to go, and St. Croix with the throw-in. Balboa looking to chip it out. Flick header from Navas, but intercepted well by St. Croix. And now they are looking to break down the left-hand side. They do have bodies in the box. Can they find one of them? Ball to the back. Well gathered in by Zetterberg. A little over 10 minutes and change to go. Still, the game remains scoreless. Good interception from St. Croix. If either of these teams are going to go up a gear, are going to find that game-winning goal, well, now will be as good a time as any. Sure, neither team wants to go into extra time, particularly in these conditions. Ball dinked over the top, looking for a Balboa runner. St. Croix dealing with that, but not particularly well as the clearance comes out to Navas. He gets knocked to the ground. That'll surely be a free kick. Although Balboa is still in possession. Ball gets played into the box. Referee decides there's no free kick there either. It looked like a, well, actually maybe he has called it. It did look like a very blatant push in the back as Balboa were trying to create space to bring that ball down and ultimately get a shot away. Referee though doing a nice job and has done a nice job all night. Get the yellow card to a minimum. I think we just still have the one. The game has been pretty free-throwing. Lovely turn there. Balboa, though, ultimately intercepting it. Good tackle from number 43 for Balboa. And it's Balboa on the break now. It was Medina making that interception. Can Balboa make something of it now that they have possession high up the field? And numbers to match. It's Medina now back in possession, rolls it out to the right-hand side. It's Navas, who we know can deliver a good ball. He does, but well headed away from St. Croix. Navas still in the mix. Medina with him. Ball comes back to Navas. Again, lovely ball to the back post. St. Croix do a good job, though, of positioning and clearing, but not particularly far. Ball gets played back once more. I don't really understand St. Croix's desire to do that. Put themselves under pressure immediately. Doing themselves a free kick, and we have another yellow card, apparently for an earlier infringement. Couldn't even tell you which team that's gone to, let alone what it was for, but we do have 2 yellow cards now on the board. That was Pepe from Balboa. Good work from Medina, intercepting initially. And then Balboa throwing numbers forward, trying to create something. Almost did. Less than 10 minutes still to go in this UPSL National Final quarter-final match. Ball comes into the box, deflected out by Balboa for a corner for St. Croix. Nothing to separate these two teams from Minnesota and Texas. Stillwater versus Fort Worth. Second in the Midwest Western Conference and third in the Texas North. Both finding themselves at the quarterfinal stage and into the last 8 minutes with potentially just one goal to settle proceedings and put the winner into the semi-final against LA10. St. Croix trying to direct it on goal. Instead, it's out for a goal kick.
assist, good try.
Wayward header makes his way through to the St. Croix attack, but Balboa able to recover, only to have their pocket picked. St. Croix again on the attack. Again, not doing a particularly good job of threading the needle. Lost count of the number of times that a St. Croix attacker has had the ball, and in an effort to try and thread it through, Balboa defence has hit a defender on the way. Got to give the Balboa defender props though. At the entire defensive unit, they have been resolute, as is demonstrated by the scoreboard. No team yet, though, able to conjure up that little bit of magic. Zetterberg doing a good job of coming out using his feet. Finding Berg. Berg rolling it inside. Cruz. Ball comes back to Rivera. Again, just about every St. Croix player behind the ball, I think bar one. And he's on his way back. Ball into the box. Nicely intercepted by St. Croix. Balboa doing a nice job though of high pressing, causing St. Croix to drive the ball out in the process. Alright, well if I can't separate the state fairs, how about separating the towns these teams come from? St. Croix from Stillwater, which is just outside of St. Paul, which is possibly my favourite city in all of Minnesota. And Balboa are from Fort Worth. Well, Fort Worth is pipped by Austin for me. Austin is my favourite town in Texas, but Fort Worth is fantastic, and I don't know that I can make a choice between Fort Worth or St. Paul. So that doesn't help much, does it? Two good state fairs, two good hometowns, and two excellent, highly combative soccer teams, as we've seen this evening. Nothing between them. All we need is a chink of daylight. All we need is a single strike. That could be enough to secure a place in the semi-finals. With less than 5 minutes to go. Each team has it in them to find it. St. Croix ball into the box. Balboa heading away. St. Croix though back in possession, and they have numbers in the box. Good numbers. Not able to link their passes once more though. They do regain possession. Now they've got to press. Keep Balboa pinned back. Ball drilled into the box. Header flicked rather waywardly, although it does make Zetterberg scramble. It wasn't a header on goal, and it wasn't a cushioned header to a teammate. It was a bit wayward, and I think in the process confused Zetterberg. He was able to reset his feet though and gather the ball in. Battling in the middle of the park, Balboa and St. Croix fighting to regain possession. Now it's Balboa on the ball, carrying the ball through the middle of the park. Good work from Medina. Finds its way out to Berg. Berg cuts inside onto his, I think, less favoured left foot, so instead he decides to slide it inside to a teammate. Poor touch out wide. St. Croix looking to gain possession again. Good battling from Balboa, and the referee decides that's a free kick in favour of Balboa. It looked like it was maybe 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, but the referee was closer to it than I am. As I mentioned earlier, he has had a good game, so let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Gets Navas placing the ball.
Make the goal right now.
Less than 3 minutes to go.
Segundo poste, abajo.
Ball into the box. Oh, punched away by Carlson. He didn't take any chances. Well, maybe he could have grabbed that, but it came in at such speed. Probably a wise decision from the St. Croix goalkeeper. Particularly when you've got so many bodies in front of you in the box. If you don't get that exactly right, and it spills out, it'll be a tap-in for someone. Well, the referee's decided that the corner's now on the other side of the goal. Balboa were more aware of that before St. Croix. Caused a little confusion. Kevin Tiero, I will do you the favour of not even commentating on that. Let's just all move on and pretend we didn't see anything. Ball out from Carlson. Excellent interception again from St. Croix. That's not a good ball into the box, asking way too much. Vazuzu. So we are heading into the final minute or so. What did we say earlier? There's 30 additional seconds on the scoreboard, right? So we're into about the last 90 seconds at this point of regulation. And of course, anything that the ref decides to tack on. And we did have the water break. So I'm assuming there's at least a couple of minutes there. Plus any additional stoppages. So I'm anticipating at least maybe 3 to 4 minutes beyond the regulation. And if we have no goals at that point, we will go to extra time. We'll cross that bridge if and when we come to it. Wayward header from St. Croix goes out for a throw-in for Balboa. It's deep in the St. Croix half and it's deep into the match. Can Balboa conjure something here? They are able to win the ball back deep, and it's a shot, and Carlson gets a beautiful hand on it! That's an absolute worldie of a save from the St. Croix goalkeeper. Goodness gracious me, I thought that was the game-winning goal, and so I think did Medina. I think it was Medina who lashed it goalwards. It looked initially like it was too high, but then the ball tipped at the last moment. Carlson tracked it the entire way and palmed it out for a corner. Excellent goalkeeping. St. Croix still with work to do. Balboa now with a corner, and we're beyond regulation. It is now in the hands of the referee, or hands on his watch, I suppose, to determine how much time we have left. Ball into the box. Croix heads it wide. Again, maybe another corner. No, the referee's decided it is a goal kick. If the Veda production team are able to rerun that save, I would love to see it again. In fact, I'd love to see it multiple times. It was so pretty. Balboa on the attack once more. Carlson comes out and swallows it up. Beckett Carlson with the save of the night, undoubtedly. I'm going to get a chance to see that save again. It looks like, was it Medina? One back in there. Yeah, found its way to Medina. First time shot. Oh, what a save from Carlson. It wasn't as far away from him as I first thought, but actually I think that makes it even better of a save. Because when you're, as a goalkeeper, when you're diving full length and you're stretching and you're throwing everything into it, you don't think. You literally know I have to make myself as big as possible here to have any chance to get on the end of this. And we may have a chance here with Balboa. Oh, what excellent defending from St. Croix. Won the original header and then quick enough to get onto the dropping ball as well. As I was saying, if you're a goalkeeper and you know you have to go full length, you have no time to think. You just throw yourself full length, and if the ball hits you, the ball hits you. There, the ball was fired at Carlson at a rate of knots, and it was a little closer to his body than I thought. And we may have another shot here. Ball comes to the back post. Medina waiting on it. Critical header from St. Croix, but Berg now trying to win the ball back for Balboa. St. Croix coming away with it. I think Balboa are going to be able to tidy this up. As I was saying, that ball was just closer to Carlson than I expected and wasn't able to get his arm full length. So to get his arm that quickly in front of the ball, be able to palm it away that comprehensively, that ball really could have gone anywhere. Excellent work from the St. Croix goalkeeper. Well, we are 3 minutes now over time. Remember, there's a 30-second disparity between the stadium scoreboard and the on-screen clock. We are now over 3 minutes beyond regulation. I think the referee has blown his whistle. And at the end of regulation, it is St. Croix Soccer Club 0, Balboa Football Club 0. We have extra time, people. You're going to get your money's worth this evening. We're going to take another quick break. I need some more sparkling water. It's thirsty work, this. We'll join you again for the beginning of extra time. The officials are back on the field. We're just waiting for the teams to rejoin us. And we will get this first period of extra time underway. I'm sure you're all familiar with how extra time works, but just in case we have viewers who are not, we will have 2 periods, each of 15 minutes in length, plus additional time at the referee's discretion as is necessary. We will play the full 15 minutes of each of those halves. There's no golden goal or first team scores, anything like that. If at the end of those 2 15-minute halves, teams cannot be separated, if the score remains as it is, or if they both scored an equal amount in extra time and the score are level, we will then go into penalty kicks, at which point I'll explain penalty kicks. But again, I'm quite sure that most of our viewers, if not all, understand extra time and probably know exactly what happens in a penalty shootout. But hopefully that gives you a sense of what's coming next. At least another 30 minutes of soccer, and inevitably a winner in this quarter-final game and this contest between St. Croix and Balboa FC. Balboa who get us underway. Anyone who happens to join us late, Balboa in the all-black strip, going from right to left on your screen. St. Croix in the all-white, going from left to right, obviously. LA 10. They beat Deportivo Rose City earlier today by a score of 3-0, are awaiting the victor of this game. They already have their spot locked down in the semi-final. Rudimentary save there for Carlson. And then there's one more semi-final spot to be determined tomorrow. 3 of the games being played today. Tomorrow, Tennessee Tempo will play Miami United to round out the semi-final spots. The semi-final games will be played on August the 8th. Croix clearing the lines. With the final played in LA on August the 10th. Third place game will be played the same day. St. Croix in possession, bobbing and weaving in the centre of the park, trying to find a teammate, and does so invariably. Good work from Balboa. Long shot, doesn't test Carlson. Worth an attempt though to see if you can catch him off guard. You can tell both these teams looking leggy at this point. Even though the sun's gone down, we still have temperatures in the low 90s in Wichita, Kansas, and it's very humid, as I've mentioned multiple times. It's really energy sapping. Imagine these players are absolutely digging deep to find that spark, to find that a bit of energy, that additional something that will get their team over the line. St. Croix finally able to slip a ball through the defence. Really good work from Setterberg. That's just about the... well, maybe only the second time I can remember this match that St. Croix have been able to actually slip a ball between defenders. Penetrate that Balboa back line. Setterberg, though, on his toes, sweeping up for his teammates. St. Croix again looking to create something out here on the right-hand side, but good defending from Balboa. And the ball was adjudged to have gone out. I'm not sure the entire ball went over the entire line. But I'm paid to do this job, not that job. So it is what it is. St. Croix back in possession. Only for a moment though, Balboa winning it back. I'd say two teams, I'm so impressed, two teams that really won't give the other any breathing room. Now very committed to closing down space, to harrying, to pressing. Balboa trying to slip the ball through the St. Croix defence, a little too heavy on this occasion. Balboa do win themselves a corner though in the process. So taking a touch on the way through. It could be an important touch if Balboa can do something with this corner. Arms aloft. Corner delivered. Header from St. Croix. Balboa back in possession. But the ball's out of play. And Croix playing the ball across their defence. They do enjoy living dangerously. Well, I guess another way you could look at it is they're very confident in possession, even in defence. Oh, but they get the ball away waywardly there. Can Balboa now create something on the counter? Doing a nice job, but running out of steam, or perhaps more accurately, miscommunicating. And Croix attacking down this left wing, tuck the ball inside. Able to sidestep the defender, get a shot away, but not a Balboa defender stepping in and blocking the attempt, which has been the story of their night. Aggressive defending from the team from Fort Worth. As I mentioned earlier, their defence has been breached so infrequently. Generally speaking, whenever it's happened, it's been maybe a ball skipping in the wrong direction, or not quite making full connection with a clearance or a header away. Opening them up has been incredibly challenging for St. Croix, and I suppose that's the reason that Balboa won their previous two playoff matches by 1-0. They know how to keep it tight, and they know how to keep a clean sheet. Balboa with the corner. Need as many bodies in the box as they can spare. They of course don't want to get caught on any counter-attack. They want to make the most of these opportunities when they come along. A little over 6.5 minutes, so this first period of extra time to go. Corner into the box, it's deep to the back post. Headed back. St. Croix able to get it out pretty easily. Good header back from Torres, but nobody really challenging on that second ball. Attempted shot blocked. But sweeping up at the back. Mattel looks to cut inside, maybe thinking about shooting, instead dinks it out to the right-hand side. Balboa still with bodies in the box, residual from that corner, but none of them are going to be able to get on that cross. Crossing really hasn't been of the highest quality in this match. I'd say of all the impressive things that we've seen, and it has been a really well contested and entertaining match, crossing isn't high on that list, and I think the longer we go on, I suspect the worse it might get, again, because of tiredness, legginess, the heat, and so on. We did see one really good cross earlier in the game. Edinburgh for Balboa FC, not able to convert on that occasion. He did have the sun in his eyes, though, we were speculating. That probably was the pick of the bunch for crosses so far in this match. St. Croix trying to get him behind Balboa, but once again Balboa doing a great job of holding their shape and creating depth in their back line. Also, their awareness is really good too. And so much of it. Oftentimes you see players and they're in the right position and you think, wow, that's lucky. Generally speaking, luck has got very little to do with it. It's to do with awareness. It's to do with spacing. It's just to do with soccer IQ more than anything. And Balboa do seem to have that in spades in their defence. And by the way, St. Croix's defence isn't too shabby as well. Less than 5 minutes to go in this first period of extra time, and still no goals. Battling out here on the left-hand side from St. Croix, using physicality to maintain possession of the ball, waiting for teammates to show up and support. Lovely cross into the middle of the box. Snapshot. Oh! Got a hand on it. Zetterberg, I think, got a hand on it. Critical hand as well. Brought it down. Wow, great snapshot. Well, you know what? Watching it back, it's hard to tell whether Zetterberg got anything on that. And ultimately, it was the post that saved the day. If Zetterberg did get anything on it, then props to him. If he didn't, then he's a very relieved goalkeeper. Didn't I just get done, 30 seconds ago, saying that the crossing in this game, really not that good. And that wasn't a traditional cross as such. But it was a ball swung in, and it was expertly delivered, picking out a teammate perfectly. Great control, snapshot followed. Post rescued the day. Zetterberg is in among the mix this time, though. Gets a hand on that and punches it. St. Croix trying to get it back in the box. Balboa doing a good job of clearing. And then they may look to counter. But it's going to be a 1-on-2 situation here pretty quickly. Now a 1-on-3. Now everybody's back. And that is St. Croix for you. They need to get back. They do. They get a giddy up. We may not have any goals here today yet, but I'm hoping for plenty tomorrow. I'm going to put an embarrassing plug in here for my nation. The England women's team, the Lionesses, have made it to the European Championship final. They're the current champions, and so they're defending their title, and they will play the impressive pre-tournament favourite Spain. Should be a heck of a match. So, I'm hoping for an entertaining game tomorrow. Plenty of goals. Most of them Lioness flavoured, please. Love to see our girls raise that silverware for the second time in succession. Good luck to the Lionesses. Easily defended by St. Croix. We now are looking to break away. Again, look at how many players Balboa have back. Look at the shape they have in their defence. It's not a straight line. They have depth and definition. They are so well marshalled. Whether that's on field, by the more experienced players, or by the coaching crew. They are a tough nut to crack. I'm kind of surprised anyone won 6 of their 10 games this season. All chipped into the box. St. Croix do a bad job of getting rid of that in a snapshot. Could have potentially troubled Carlson, but it goes well wide ultimately. Looks like he caught a deflection on the way through. Balboa now with the corner again. I think this is their 3rd corner in this first extra time period. Mentioned that the crosses haven't been of the highest quality throughout this game. Corners, which I guess by extension are a cross, also haven't been particularly impressive. Might this one be? Ball into the back post. Oh, Tiero winding up there with a volley. It's taken away from him. Good defence by St. Croix. And that's the end of the first period of extra time. The referee adding very little. Players will have a very quick break here, essentially just to grab some water and change ends. Then we will be straight into the second 15 minutes. Still no goal. Still no potential victor. An open space in the semi-final. Either side of LA10. Don't go away. Players heading back to the field, and here we go, folks. This is your last 15 minutes plus change of open play. If we do not have a winner at the end of this second period of extra time, we will go to a penalty shootout, which is very entertaining. But if you're one of those players on the pitch, not the way you want this game to conclude, and certainly not the way you want your season to conclude if you come out the wrong side of that penalty shootout. So I guarantee you every one of those 22 players out there are going to be hoping for something to happen in this last 15 minutes. And St. Croix finally find a way to break through this resilient Balboa defence. Can Balboa put their superior possession stats to play here? Have them make a difference where it matters? All those questions and more will be answered in the next 15 minutes and change. From Balboa. And calm defending late on. St. Croix now back in possession. Hit high and hopeful out to that right wing, but Balboa once more able to get to the ball first. St. Croix with a throw in. Croix deep into the box. Balboa improvising on the defence. St. Croix getting a shot down into the ground and just wide. That's Zetterberg scrambling. Good effort. Not on frame. Balboa breathed a sigh of relief. Nice ball breaking the lines, not able though to control the pass. St. Croix with the throw in. And Croix now with some improvised defending. Winning back possession. Balboa with a good interception. Again, two teams just so highly composed on the ball. You always wonder in these moments if it's going to be a flash of something spectacular that's going to be the difference, or if it's going to be an error, a miscalculation, something out of character. And you always hope it's never going to be that. You'd rather it be something sensational. And honestly, with these two teams, I don't know that they have an error in them. We've had a couple of squirrely moments in this game, but nothing really significant. With the biggest of which being that bouncing ball in the Balboa defence. But that was really more about how the ball popped up off the turf than it was a mistake by a player or players. So the question remains, can somebody conjure up a game-defining moment? It's Balboa looking to answer that question. Ball goes out to the left-hand side. Gathered in well, but St. Croix defending doggedly. Again, great hustle. Fierro gets away. Tiero tucks it inside. Slipped. From St. Croix, ball still in play. Tiero again, chips it in. Well headed up for St. Croix, doesn't go very far. Shot over the crossbar. Give Tiero his flowers there. Talking about somebody trying to create something, that's exactly what he was trying to do. Excellent strength, speed, trickery. Good ball into the box as well from Kevin Tiero. Balboa not able to convert. Give and go from Berg, doesn't get the go bit. Ultimately though, I thought the ball was going to come back to him, they didn't. Thought it was going to find its way to him eventually. Ten minutes to go of open play. It has been an entertaining and captivating UPSL National Quarterfinal game. Ball to the back post, Tiero with the header! Oh, I didn't expect it to get to him. That was a deep, deep cross. St. Croix not able to clear. Tiero does get to the ball, flashes it narrowly wide. That's agonising for the front man. To be fair, I mean, I'm sure he was anticipating getting on the end of it. That's why he was in a diving header pose. But in the back of his mind, he had to be thinking, St. Croix are going to get to this, the defence are going to clear this. Perhaps that moment's hesitation was the difference, who knows? Perhaps he caught the header just fractionally wrong, either way. St. Croix relieved. Great run here, chip to the back post, over the bar. Love the run, but the final ball, not there. Two good opportunities though, in quick succession, one end to the next. Like I said, this has been a captivating match. High quality between two very impressive teams in this UPSL National Quarter-Final. I asked for a moment of brilliance. I asked for something sensational. Within the space of 60 seconds, both teams conjured up something and almost broke the deadlock. And still we remain at 0-0. I've just noticed the on-screen clock is frozen. So unfortunately, I have no idea how much time is left in this second period of extra time. If the play swings around to the far side... Oh, there we go. Oh, no, almost. Not quite. Can I see the scoreboard? Well, that's just a tease. The camera swings around to catch Carlson retrieving a ball from behind his goal, but not sufficiently for us to be able to see the on-field scoreboard with the clock. So I truly have no idea how much time is left. Headed away from by Balboa. Easy enough for St. Croix to retrieve. Very little in the way of pressure, that deep into the St. Croix defence, and you can't blame them. At this point, I'm imagining players are dead on their feet. It's been a long, hot, humid, and combative 90 minutes plus extra time. These players are operating on fumes at this point. What warriors they are. But then when you're contesting a semi-final spot in the UPSL National Finals, you're going to dig deep. St. Croix going to the bench again. Rolling the dice on more fresh legs. Why not? That could be the difference. Was players switched out. St. Croix with the throw-in. Balboa intercepting easily. Then getting the ball taken off of them. St. Croix looking to build, but again, a little sloppy in the passing. Balboa able to clear their lines, but only for a throw-in. You can really see the tiredness out here, can't you? Again, you can't blame the players at all. Goodness gracious, they would have been wheeling me back to the locker room about 30, 35, 40 minutes ago. But somehow these players have to find the energy. They have to dig deep. They have to try and put something together, lest they want to go to penalty kicks, which is truly a lottery. It's not really a fair summation of anyone's season to go to penalty kicks and have that be the determining factor, but the game has to end at some point. And Kevin Tiero help end it for Balboa. He's asking for a corner. I think he gets one. Typically the linesman points in the direction of the team who has possession, and if it's a corner, usually down to the corner flag. I wasn't quite sure there if he was flagging for a throw-in or a corner. Oh, we can see the scoreboard now with the time on, and that doesn't do us any good whatsoever. But the time has returned to the screen, and it's suggesting that we're 1 minute and 13... Excuse me, 1:13 in to the match. I don't think it's accurate, but I'm going to turn my attention back to the goal! And I'm glad I did, because Balboa have found the breakthrough! It doesn't matter how much time is left. All that matters is that Balboa have scored. And that may be the knockout punch on the rocky road to the UPSL National Semi-Finals. I tell you, the goal scorer, if he hadn't whipped his shirt off almost instantaneously. Oh, it's a heck of a finish. And I think it's Rivera, and if it is, well, who could deny him that celebration, that moment of glory? He has arguably been the outstanding player for Balboa FC this evening. And that moment, well, I asked for it, that moment of the spectacular, the improvisation. There was nothing that Carlson could do in the St. Croix goal. And finally, we have our breakthrough. Our Balboa FC going to win a playoff game by 1-0 for the third time in a row. I was just saying, I don't think the clock on the screen is accurate, and judging by how high at the field Carlson is, the players have a better sense of what time's left than I do, and that the scoreboard, the clock on the screen suggests. We lost the clock for, I think, at least 5 minutes, so we may be right at time. A goal from, again, I think it was Rivera. Could very well be the knockout blow. Oh, there's nothing there. St. Croix player looking for a penalty kick. I understand the desperation. The referee, who has been near impeccable all evening, right there, line of sight, nothing doing. Again, the clock on screen says 1:15. I think we're nearer 1:20. We may be over 1:20. Balboa have already pulled off 2 shocks in the playoffs. A team that came 3rd in their conference. Are the team from Fort Worth going to do it again? And if they do, can they do it against the favoured LA 10? Can they shatter their dreams of a home final in Los Angeles? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. They have to get this game over the line. Kevin Tiero has been an absolute thorn in St. Croix' side ever since he came on as a sub in the second half of regular time. Not everything he's tried has come off. Oh, good work again from Balboa in defence. Had to make that tackle. But he has been a willing runner. He has been stretching the St. Croix defence. He's been a nuisance. And it was he who delivered the corner. That Rivera redirected with creativity and acrobatics to register the only goal of the night so far. Potentially a game-winning goal. Potentially we move on to the semi-final winning goal for Balboa FC of Fort Worth, Texas. St. Croix just desperate to get possession of the ball at this point. Such a hammer blow so late on. St. Croix finally have possession. Is Carlson going to drive it long? He does. Balboa once again heading away. St. Croix, of course, back in possession as the ball goes out, anxious to get it back into play as quickly as possible. It's Carlson advancing up the field again, delivering a long ball all the way into the Balboa defence, but Zetterberg, Johnny on the spot, touching the ball to his chest. And that's it! That's the final whistle as the Balboa FC bench celebrates. Coaches and players alike. The team from Fort Worth, Texas have done it not once, not twice, but 3 times. 1-0 victors in the national playoffs. The underdogs triumph. An absolutely stunning conclusion to this quarterfinal match. Congratulations to Balboa FC. It is they who will face LA10 in the semi-finals. St. Croix, you had a magnificent season and you put up a heck of a fight this evening. But ultimately, it was that man, Rivera, number 10, the difference maker. Kevin Tiero's corner, acrobatics and improvisation, the knockout blow. And it is Balboa FC whose dream of winning a national title remains alive. St. Croix turn their attentions to next season, into the hopes of doing it all again and more. And now they have the 9.5 hour long drive back to the outskirts of St. Paul, Minnesota. But I hope they don't feel too terrible. They deserve to be here this evening. Their performance demonstrated that. They just couldn't quite find a way past a resolute Balboa defence. And so our final score this evening in this UPSL National Quarter-Final is St. Croix SC 0, Balboa FC 1. I've been your commentator, Mark Turner, here with the Veda Media team. We hope you've enjoyed tonight's game, and we look forward to seeing you in the semi-finals. Folks, it ain't over yet. There's still more fun to come. Good night.
Thank you.